Now that we have a really good macro view of the timing of the animation, let's start plotting and planning out the keyframes that are going to work inside of that structure. Now, originally we prototyped about 84 frames for this animation by using our stopwatch and our mind's eye, our imagination. Before we go in and start figuring out where all these keyframes are going to go, we need to be good stewards and ensure that we're providing our audience with the best information possible. We need to make sure we're taking care of them by drawing keyframes that truly represent the important storytelling moments of this animation. If our audience was to just look at the keyframes, they should be able to understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So we need to kind of zero in and nail those keyframes before we go any further. I know it's really hard to kind of hold on and wait to do all the fine-tuned, detailed animation, but these key frames, these storytelling frames, are really the most important. They're going to allow us to iterate on our ideas, figure out the timing very quickly, and ensure that when we go into the process of creating the in-betweens, we know we're going to be building on a strong foundation. So let's kind of zero in and figure out what those key frames need to look like. Now, overall, we know that we're going to go down, back, pull the arrow, launch the arrow, okay? So what is that going to look like? What does the audience need to see in order for them to understand that? Well, if this is the resting pose, we go down, that's a keyframe. Then we go back up, there's a keyframe. We pull the arrow back, that's a keyframe. And then fire, that's a keyframe. And then we're also probably going to need to see a keyframe with the arrow kind of flying in the air. So that's what, about 5 drawings or so. I like that, okay. With that in mind, let's go ahead and start getting into work here. I think I want to place these drawings on every 10 frames. We'll go back in a future pass and retime these drawings and really zero in on the speed in which we're going to be going from drawing to drawing. So let's put my cursor, my playhead on frame 10. Let's unlock all of the animation layers for this grease pencil object. It's really nice to have things broken out into layers so that we can individually control them or work together as a group, which is what we want. I'm going to select all. Here's the cool thing. Since everything is unlocked, we can animate all of these objects at the same time, which is what we want for the bow, string, and arrow. They need to move as a group as we do this movement, and then the arrow is going to be animated independently. So if we hit the A key, power user keyboard shortcut of the day, A key is select all, which is pretty cool. You can also find that exact same keyboard shortcut in the select pull down menu at the top of the screen. And there are some winners in this menu, so you definitely want to check this out. Here's where you find select all, none, invert. There's some good stuff in there. Make sure you're looking at that. Okay, so let's figure out what this is going to look like. On frame 10, this is going to be the drawing where I go down. I think I'm going to grab it, move it down some, and then rotate it. Maybe somewhere right around there. Yeah, I like that. That's a good start. Let's go to frame 10 and figure out where the bow and the arrow is going to be on that back anticipatory pose. Let's bring it back, rotate it. Yeah, let's see what we got. I'm going to go to frame 10 and allow my onion skinning to really kind of communicate to me some wonderful arcs. We want to make sure that we're producing an opportunity for an arced movement path for our arrow, but we should also be ensuring that the bow itself is moving along its own internal arc. Arcs are really everywhere, and we should be looking for them. And I think I'm doing generally a good job. If you look at the tip of the kind of the back of the arrow feathers here, I think they're called the flights. Yeah, that's kind of a nice arc. Let's see if we can make it better. Yeah, that's a nice little arc. I think I'm going to go forward to this frame here. And I want to be able to see that first frame. So if I go into my object data properties and keyframes before, let's turn that to 1. Yeah, and now the light, the very, very faint light green one, is a representation of the first keyframe. And I think I'm just going to rotate this a little bit like that, just to kind of create a nice little arc. If you look at the movement of the tip here, nice arc. Liking that a lot. Same with it down here at the bottom. Nice arc. I'm digging that. I could even maybe go a little bit further. Yeah, I'm liking that. However, I've just noticed an interesting challenge. Let's do the 4th keyframe, and I think you'll see it as well. Let's go into frame 30, and this is the keyframe where the arrow is going to go back. I'm gonna go to the arrow animation layer and lock string and bow. That way I don't accidentally mess it up, because I'm known to accidentally mess it up. I'll hit the A key to grab all the strokes on that layer, and let's just move it back. Let's move the arrow back. I'm going to grab it, move it back. I'm not going to go all the way to here. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of room. So right around there. Yeah. Okay. So this is the challenge that I just saw. And I kind of saw this a second ago as well. If you look at when the pose of the arrow, when it's way back like this, I'm going to need to bend and deform the arms of the bow backwards. Same with the string. I'm going to need to deform it so that it creates the correct shape. Well, all of that deformation is going to be maybe off screen, which I don't want to have. So I need to make a big sweeping change to all of these drawings. And luckily for us, since we're only working with 4 drawings, they'll go pretty fast. And the multi-frame editing tool set will make it really easy for us. Okay, let's unlock all of our animation layers. I'm so happy we discovered this now. And I want to ensure that all of the keyframes are selected. Because remember, the multi-editing frame tool requires a selection. I got all of my frames selected, or my keyframes selected. And now we'll go to the top of the screen and activate multi-frame editing. Yeah, cool. I like it. I'm just going to hit A just to double check to make sure I got everything. And I'm going to move everything together as a group, screen right. So I'm going to grab it along the X axis by holding the X key. And I'm just going to move it not far, right in there. Yeah, I'm liking that. Cool. Yep, let's turn multi-frame editing off, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, cool. Let's play the animation. It's not going to be very good because it's only just a couple drawings. Great. All right, next drawing up on frame 40, this is when the arrow is going to fly. All right, so I'm going to, once again, I'm going to lock string and bow, hit the A key, grab all the strokes for the arrow, and where do we want the arrow to go? Well, let's maybe have it go right here. It's going to go up. I like that. And then maybe on frame 50, the last keyframe of the mix, we'll have it go this way, down a bit. We'll rotate it this bit as well. I know this isn't exactly the movement path that the arrow is going to have. That's okay. I'm okay with that, right? It gives us a target. We're never going to see this keyframe, but it's going to help us create the frame before. I like to think of these keyframes as start and stop points for all of our in-betweens. If we have a keyframe that defines where the arrow is going to stop, it's going to be really easy to make the in-betweens leading into this frame there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's take a look at what we got. Even though they're just keyframes, we always play it. Let's play it again. Yeah, I'm digging this. This is working out really well. Next step, figure out the timing of all these keyframes.